Some equations have no solutions at all. Here is how you prove that without testing a single one. The method is called infinite descent, and it comes down to 3 moves. Start by assuming that a solution does exist in positive integers. Then, out of that solution, manufacture another one that is strictly smaller. Now repeat, and repeat. If you can always go smaller, something has gone wrong because you cannot keep descending forever inside the positive integers. The engine underneath is one of the simplest facts in mathematics. A strictly decreasing chain of positive integers running on without end. Every non-empty set of positive integers has a smallest member. That is the well-ordering principle. So an infinite descending chain is impossible. Producing one is therefore a proof that whatever you assumed at the start was false. The first problem takes about 4 lines to settle once you see where to look. X squared plus 10y squared equals 3z squared. Show that no positive integers x, y, and z can satisfy it, not a single triple anywhere. The way in is to reduce everything modulo 3, and it helps to keep the equation itself in view while we do it. There it is again, x squared plus 10y squared equals 3z squared. And here is the only fact we need about squares. A square is congruent to either 0 or 1 modulo 3. Check it. 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, which is also 1. A squared is never congruent to 2. Now 10 is congruent to 1, and the right-hand side is a multiple of 3. So modulo 3, the equation says that x squared plus y squared is congruent to 0. And that single congruence is the whole problem. It forces 3 to divide x and 3 to divide y. Here is y. Each square is either 0 or 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. Neither of those is 0, so the only surviving option is 0 plus 0. So 3 divides x and 3 divides y, which means we can pull a factor of 3 out of each of them. Write x as 3x1 and y as 3y1. Those two are what the descent will be about. Substitute those in and watch what happens to z. 9x1 squared plus 90y1 squared equals 3z squared. Divide through by 3. Now z squared is 3 times a whole number. So 3 divides z squared, and therefore 3 divides z as well. Write z as 3z1. Substitute once more, and the trap closes. x1 squared plus 10y1 squared equals 3z1 squared. That is precisely the equation we started with, but at 1/3 of the size. So from any solution, we could always build a smaller one without end. That is impossible. Therefore, there was never a solution to begin with. Now, a second problem. Descent is the right tool here too, but it descends on something surprising. Show that no infinite arithmetic progression has every one of its terms a perfect square. That is how it is usually posed, and as it stands, it needs one word added before it is strictly true. The thing that shrinks will not be the size of a solution. It will be the gap between consecutive square roots. Before the main argument, 2 degenerate cases have to be cleared away. If the common difference is 0, the progression is constant. 4, 4, 4 forever, and every term is a perfect square. So the claim needs the word non-constant, and that is the word the usual phrasing leaves out. Words saying out loud rather than quietly assuming. And if the common difference is negative, the terms eventually drop below 0 and cannot be squares. So from here on, the common difference is positive. Every term is a perfect square, so every term has a whole number square root. Give those roots a name. The kth term is a k squared, and a k is a positive whole number. These are the roots, and the gaps between them are what the descent will be about. Because the difference is constant, any 2 neighboring steps are equal. Both of them equal the common difference. Now factor each side as a difference of 2 squares. The roots are strictly increasing, so the sum on the left is strictly larger than the sum on the right. But the 2 products are equal. If one factor gets bigger, the other has to get smaller. So the gap between consecutive roots strictly decreases. And that is the descent sitting right there in the arithmetic. The root gaps form a strictly decreasing chain of positive integers running on forever. Well ordering forbids exactly that, so no such progression can exist. Notice what descended though, not a solution, but a gap. You can watch it in the smallest example. 125 and 49 are three squares in arithmetic progression. Their roots are 1, 5, and 7, so the gaps are 4 and then 2, already on the way down. There is also a one-line growth argument for this problem. The roots outrun any fixed difference. It is perfectly valid, but the version you just saw is genuine descent, which is why it belongs in this lecture. Here is a natural objection. If the gaps have to shrink, does that not immediately forbid 4 squares in a row? It does not. Positive integers that strictly decrease only force the first one to be at least as large as the number of steps you take. For 4 terms, that is no contradiction at all. So this argument cues an infinite progression and leaves a 4-term one completely open. The door is still standing. For one specific progression though, we can close it using nothing more than the 2 gaps we already computed. Take 1, 25, 49, again where the gaps ran 4 and then 2. A 4th term needs a gap strictly below 2, and the only positive integer below 2 is 1, so the 4th root would have to be 8. But the difference is that same product again. 1 times 8 plus 7, which is 15, while this progression has difference 24. Impossible. And you can see the same thing without any machinery at all. 49 plus 24 is 73, which sits between 64 and 81, not a square. The general result is Fermat's, and it wears 3 different faces. First face, x to the 4th minus y to the 4th equals z squared with no solution in non-zero integers. Second face, there are no 4 distinct squares in arithmetic progression. That is exactly the statement we could not reach. Third face, no right triangle with whole number sides has an area that is a perfect square. That one is known as Fermat's right triangle theorem. The equivalences between the 3 are classical, and we are citing them rather than deriving them. Each reduction is a lecture in itself. Fermat proved the equation by descent. One more reason that equation is worth knowing. Suppose x to the 4th plus y to the 4th equals z to the 4th. Move things around. Z to the 4th minus y to the 4th is x to the 4th, and x to the 4th is x squared squared. So any solution of the last theorem at exponent 4 would hand you a solution of our equation. There are none, so the exponent 4 case follows immediately more than 3 centuries before the general one was settled. So 3 things worth carrying away from all of this. Descent does not require shrinking a solution. Find any positive whole quantity that is forced to strictly decrease forever and you are finished. Here, it turned out to be the gap between consecutive roots. State your hypotheses honestly. A constant progression genuinely is an arithmetic progression of squares, so the word non-constant is carrying real weight rather than decoration. And notice where the difficulty actually sits. Ruling out infinitely many squares is a short descent. Ruling out 4 of them is Fermat's theorem. Thanks for watching this. Subscribe to Thinking in Math channel for this and other interesting math topics. And we always welcome your feedbacks. Leave your questions and suggestions in the comments.